The Water Magician is an anime that is an example, at least for me, of why not to judge a book by its cover. Because I don't know why I was feeling this way, but when I saw the poster image and the title of the anime, I wasn't feeling it. I thought that this was going to be an average to mediocre type of anime, but I'm happy to say that I was wrong. And being wrong is not always a bad thing because I enjoyed this anime much more than I thought I was going to. And let's talk about it. First, we have our main character Rio. Now, Rio is the typical isekai where he was hit by Typhoon. It wasn't still his time, so to make up for it, the angel that is in charge of this whole ordeal is going to make up for it by isekaiing him to a fantasy world where he is able to use magic, mainly water magic. Now, usually when you are isekai, you receive a shit skill, but actually no, because the only thing that he received that I could say is a sheet is knowledge. Because when he before being isekai, the angel told him in order for you to be able to use your water magic at its highest potential, you need only imagination and visualize it, and in order to turn it into reality and properly use it. And that's all. He didn't receive a super hidden skill where he can just from the very beginning one shot every single person or monster. No, the way that he got strong in later episodes is by the old school fashion of hard work and sweat, because you can see our main character training days, week, and years. He never specified exactly how long he stayed in that forest, but I suspect 2 to 3 years. And he trained for so long for and so hard that you can see that from the first episode where he was still white because he was in Japan, he received a quite a very tan, very brownish type of color. So whether you want to consider that a glow up or not, hey, that's for you to decide. And even though that he did not receive a shit skill, he does have a hidden ability that the angel talk about later on. So our main character doesn't know it himself, but he has the hidden skill of eternal youth. Now, which type of eternal youth? I don't know, because depending on the manga, light novel, or anime, eternal youth works differently. Is this the type of eternal youth where he still has the same lifespan of any other human and is simply just going to die from old age but simply looking young? Or is this the type of eternal youth where he can live for hundreds or thousands of years, but eternal youth is not immortality, so he can still be killed or die from sickness or something. So it was never properly elaborated on which type of eternal youth did he receive or how it works. So maybe this is something that in later seasons we can find out about. But that's one thing. And later we have to say about our main character Rio himself. Rio is a very he's a character with many layers to his personality, because we can see clearly that yes, he's very hardworking, very sociable, and he likes to, when he gets comfortable with somebody, he likes to mess with them and joke like, oh, so finally seeing you working hard for a change. I can see you being a rascal in your younger years, causing problems in your home village and stuff like that. He likes to mess around with people, and he does have a certain strong sense of justice, but sometimes to a detriment, because when his friends in later episode his friends got injured, he went all he was enraged because I don't care if you're a prince, a king, or if have a high political position. You hurt my friends, I am going to stamp you out. And only by the good graces of a close friend that he received in later episodes, what sorry, was he able to calm down and avoid starting a war, because if he had it his own way, he would have killed that person no problem. And that's one thing that I was very surprised about, because usually in isekais they still have their morality of the previous world about no killing and stuff like that. But no, our main character was able and willing to kill that fool, let's say. So, yes, he's very. Rio is a very interesting main character. And moving on from a main character, let's talk about the pacing. The pacing of the anime was very well done. This anime gave me three different type of feelings. One is a cozy feeling, like I was watching a cozy slice of life, at least for the first four episodes. Later on, it gave me a feeling of adventure and wonder, because usually when other anime have the adventures tag in the anime, we don't necessarily see the adventure. We only see them just 1 minute they're in this place, and the other minute they're already in the dungeon, or they already arrive in the other town. And we never see the entire process of them going from one place to another, because obviously for time issues or pacing issues. But actually, in this anime, they did, I did at least they did show the entire journey from him and of the his friend that he rescued, from going to the forest all the way to his town, and we saw the entire adventure. So we saw him going through different terrains, avoiding and fighting off monsters, traversing different areas, different. We saw everything. I'm going to say so. This anime did give me a very strong feeling of adventure, and not only adventure, but like I said, wonder, because our main character Rio is so fascinated by the whole fantasy thing, that we see monsters, dragons, elves, and golems, and we see it from obviously from our main character's perspective. And sometimes I'm very surprised and in awe in the way that they show it in the animation. And with this, well, as a segue, let's talk about the animation. The animation was done very well. Let's say above average, not spectacular, because reaching to be hero X or reaching a Demon Slayer type of quality, it takes a lot. But still, above average is still very well good animation. The only time that you can see a deep in quality is in the non-important stuff, because they don't animate everything in the same level. It is clear that in the non-important scenes that doesn't have anything to do with our main character, or important side characters, they do cut corners, do the whole thing where they put a still frame and just put sound effects and slowly pan the image to a corner, to try to trick your brain in thinking that there's movement. But that was very few and very far in between. So I I'm going to give my score now, and I think that I presently surprised and totally wrong, because I thought this was going to be garbage. But I'm happy to say that this anime is actually, at least to me, an 8. An 8 out of 10. And I'm so happy to be so wrong. Is like I said, being wrong is not always a bad thing. So have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're from, and see you next video.